What if everything you thought you knew about the 2024 election was a lie? What if the real battle wasn't happening on the debate stage, in the polling booths, or even in the media, but deep underground, in shadowy rooms where secrets were brokered like weapons? And what if tonight, right now, you were about to hear the story that Washington is desperate to bury? The story they never wanted you to know? Because tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on a revelation so explosive, it has the entire White House scrambling, phones ringing off the hook, and aides running down the hallways in a full-blown panic. It all centers around one man, Donald Trump, and a secret file so devastating, so meticulously timed, it could crack the entire Biden administration wide open. Picture this. It's a stormy Thursday evening in Mar-a-Lago. Thunder shakes the windows. Inside the ornate gold and marble halls, Trump sits at a massive oak desk, a single manila folder in front of him. His fingertips drum the polished surface slowly, methodically. Across from him, a trusted aide leans in, eyes wide with nervous energy. "Mr. President," he says quietly, "once this gets out, there's no going back." Trump leans back, a slow grin creeping across his face. "Good," he says. "Let's light it up." The room crackles with electricity, because inside that folder isn't just a scandal. It's a grenade with the pin already pulled. Documents, photographs, recordings, evidence that threatens to blow the doors off everything the public thought they knew about Joe Biden and his inner circle. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. But how did it get to this point? What skeletons, buried so deeply, so carefully, are now clawing their way back to the surface? And more importantly, why is Trump choosing now to strike? You see, this isn't just political strategy. This is personal. Revenge, survival, legacy, all twisted together into one high-stakes gamble. Trump isn't just fighting for the presidency. He's fighting for his freedom, his reputation, maybe even his life. And he's about to break every unspoken rule in Washington to win. The first tremors are already being felt. Inside the White House, a hastily convened midnight meeting swirls with tension. Biden's top advisors are white as sheets, arguing in hushed, frantic tones. Secret Service radios buzz nonstop. Phones ring and are slammed down. Somewhere, a junior staffer vomits in a trash can, overcome by the sheer gravity of what's happening. One question hangs heavy in the air. How much? Does Trump know, and how much worse could it get? The answer is so much worse than they ever imagined. Because this isn't just about corruption. It's about betrayal. It's about an invisible war that's been raging behind closed doors for years. A war that's about to spill into the streets, into our homes, onto our TV screens. And tonight, you're about to witness the first shot fired. Stay with me. What you're about to hear will change the way you see everything. The first blow lands just before dawn. At 4:37 a.m., while most of America sleeps, Trump's inner circle receives a scrambled transmission. The secret file has been leaked. Not to the media, not to Congress, but straight to a rogue network of independent journalists known only as the Lantern. Anonymity is their armor, and exposure is their weapon. They waste no time. Within minutes, a chilling headline flashes across encrypted channels: the Biden cover-up, classified documents, shocking ties, and the ultimate betrayal. Inside Mar-a-Lago, the walls seem to shudder with the weight of the news. Trump, still in his suit from hours earlier, storms into the Situation Room-like war room he built after the 2020 election. His aides look up, pale and silent. The folder he once controlled, his ultimate ace, is no longer just in his hands. What the hell happened? Trump barks, voice slicing through the tension like a blade. No one moves. No one breathes. Standing stiffly by the door is Jason Miller, Trump's longtime communications advisor. Sweat beads on his forehead. "It's Miles," he says at last, voice shaking. "Miles Benedict. He flipped. Miles Benedict. Once one of Trump's most trusted tech operatives, a man who helped encrypt servers, move sensitive information through back channels, build the infrastructure for Trump's digital empire, a ghost in the system, and now a traitor. Trump slams a heavy fist onto the conference table, rattling coffee cups and papers. "Find him," he snarls. "Now!" Meanwhile, in Washington, the file has detonated like a bomb. The White House communications director, Elena Strauss, jolts awake to a barrage of panicked texts. Her heart pounds as she scrambles into clothes and bolts toward the West Wing. By the time she arrives, the place is chaos. Security protocols initiated, internal servers frozen, aides being hauled into emergency meetings. Biden, too, is awake, groggy, furious, demanding answers no one can give him. Elena finds herself in an impossible position. She was supposed to protect the administration's public image, spin narratives, plug leaks. But nothing in her training prepared her for this. The documents are real, the photographs are damning. Worse still, the file hints at a betrayal not just of the American people, but of Biden's closest allies. And buried in the fine print is a name Elena recognizes, a name she never thought she would see connected to scandal. Nathan Cross, Biden's longtime friend, advisor, and secret handler for sensitive international deals. Elena feels the ground shift beneath her. If Nathan is involved, if the rumors are true, the implications are catastrophic, not just for Biden, but for the entire Democratic power structure. Back at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's eyes narrow. He sees the opportunity, the chaos, the fractures forming in the enemy's armor. The betrayal cuts deep. The secret burns hotter. But for Trump, one thing is now crystal clear. This isn't just a political battle anymore. It's a war, and it's only just begun. Trump watches it all unfold from a private lounge in Mar-a-Lago, flipping channels like a general surveying a battlefield. His smile is thin. His instincts, sharpened from decades of combat in boardrooms and back alleys, tell him one thing. They're just scratching the surface. The real bombshells buried inside the file. Those haven't been uncovered yet, and if he times it right, if he plays his hand perfectly, he can control the explosion. But fate isn't done complicating things. Jason Miller bursts into the room, face pale. "Mr. President," he pants, holding out a secured tablet. "We've got a problem." On the screen, a new leak, not from the lantern. This one's different. It's a high-level memo, confidential, never meant to see daylight. And it suggests that parts of Trump's own file might have been doctored, altered by unseen hands before the leak, inserted with false information designed to discredit him if he moved too aggressively. A setup. Trump's knuckles whiten around the tablet. For a moment, he says nothing, weighing options, calculating risks. If he pushes forward recklessly, he could end up the patsy in someone else's grand design. If he hesitates, he loses momentum and maybe everything. Jason shifts awkwardly. "Sir, Miles Benedict isn't working alone. He's been funded. There's foreign money involved." The air chills. Trump leans in. "By who?" Jason swallows hard. "We think Chinese intelligence. Maybe European operatives too. They're trying to burn both you and Biden. Clear the board for someone new." Trump's mind races. The real enemy wasn't just Biden. It wasn't just Miles. It was something deeper. An entire hidden war operating beneath the surface of American politics, with pawns like him and Biden caught in the middle. Meanwhile, inside the White House, Elena. Strauss locks herself in her office, blinds drawn tight. She sifts through the documents at lightning speed, her mind reeling. Hidden in the metadata of one leaked photo, a blurred corner, an unseen reflection, she spots a familiar symbol. A silver hawk. Her stomach drops. The Silver Hawk is the calling card of the Dominion League, an ultra-secret network of political operatives known for engineering coups, blackmailing world leaders, and collapsing governments from within. If they were involved, no one was safe. Not Trump, not Biden, not anyone. Across town, in a darkened parking garage, Elena meets Nathan Cross in secret. His face is drawn, haunted. "It's bigger than you think," he whispers. We're both targets now. She demands answers, but Nathan offers only a warning. They've already decided. Biden's days are numbered, but don't think they'll let Trump win either. They want a clean slate, a new order, and they'll crush anyone who gets in the way. 1,000 questions spiral in Elena's mind. Who are they? How deep does it go? And why does it feel like every move she makes is already predicted, already accounted for? Back at Mar-a-Lago, Trump slams his fist on the desk again, fire burning behind his eyes. Fine, he growls. If they want a war, they'll get one. But I'm not playing defense, not this time. He leans forward, tapping a secret number into a red phone, a number even his closest advisors don't know exists. Get me the package, he says. We're going nuclear. The stage is set, the stakes are sky high, and the real fight is just beginning. It happens during a seemingly routine intelligence briefing at Mar-a-Lago, if anything in Trump's world could still be called routine. The room is packed with loyalists, screens flickering with encrypted maps, reports scrolling across giant monitors. Jason Miller stands stiffly by the door, arms crossed. Trump's personal lawyer, Monica Hales, flips through legal documents so thick they could stop a bullet. Then the room darkens. The main screen blinks. A new feed overrides the others. Grainy at first, then sharpening into crystal clarity, a live video transmission. An unfamiliar face fills the screen, a man in a nondescript black suit, backlit so only the glint of glasses is visible. Mr. Trump, the man says calmly, his voice a smooth, unnatural monotone. We commend your tenacity, but this is bigger than you. Jason lunges for the off switch, but the screen freezes. They're locked in. You are not the target, the man continues. Nor is Mr. Biden. You are both expendable relics of a failed system. Our plans have already advanced beyond either of you. The man leans closer, and the shadows briefly reveal a tattoo curling up his neck. A silver hawk, identical to the one Elena spotted. Our candidate, he says, has already been selected. America's new era will begin, with or without your consent. The transmission cuts out. Silence falls like a hammer. For a moment, no one moves. Then Trump explodes, sweeping the papers from the table, sending them flying. Who is it? He roars. Who the hell are they putting up? Jason, white as a sheet, stammers. We don't know, yet. But the truth is, the answer is already swirling in Trump's mind, a name he'd refused to consider until now. Michael Soren. A young, charismatic outsider being quietly groomed behind the scenes. Untouchable. Untainted. Someone the American public could rally behind. A clean slate candidate promising to heal divisions. Without ever realizing whose puppet strings he danced on. And the worst part? Soren's approval ratings are already surging, mysteriously, impossibly, as media outlets, corporations, and influencers all shift overnight to paint him as the inevitable savior. Meanwhile, back in D.C., Elena faces her own shattering discovery. A cryptic tip-off leads her deep into the bowels of a shuttered government building, abandoned since the early 2000s. Inside, in a dusty filing room, she finds it, an archive of classified memos connecting Nathan Cross not just to Biden, but to Trump's 2016 campaign as well. The horrifying realization hits her like a freight train. Nathan wasn't Biden's loyal handler. He was a double agent, feeding information, sabotaging from within, working all along for the Dominion League. Everything, the scandals, the chaos, the deep polarization, had been orchestrated. Not to defeat Trump, not to protect Biden, but to destroy trust in both sides, leaving the American people desperate enough to embrace whatever solution was offered to them. A solution already waiting in the wings. Michael Soren. The betrayal slices deep into Elena's soul. Nathan had mentored her, protected her, lied to her face. Now she realizes she's been a pawn in this game from the start. She storms out into the night, the weight of the truth pressing down like a stone on her chest. She knows too much, and she knows what happens to people who know too much. Across the country, in Mar-a-Lago, Trump feels the same pressure. but rage keeps him standing. He straightens his tie, squares his shoulders, and looks around the room at his battered inner circle. "We're not out yet," he growls. "They want a clean slate? Fine. Let's make it messy. Real messy." For the first time in months, there's a fire in his eyes. No leak, no scandal, no betrayal can extinguish. Because now he understands the real game, and he's ready to burn the whole board down before he lets them win. The lines are drawn. The real enemy has stepped out of the shadows, and as the night deepens, one thing becomes terrifyingly clear. This isn't just a political war anymore. It's a fight for the soul of America. The sun sets blood red over Washington, D.C. as chaos descends like a storm. News vans clog the streets. Helicopters thunder overhead. The city trembles on the edge of something irreversible. Inside a heavily guarded command center beneath Mar-a-Lago, codenamed Eagle's Spine, Trump prepares for the confrontation of a lifetime. Sweat glistens on his brow, not from fear, but fury. Everything he's fought for is on the brink. He wasn't just smeared, he was set up, played, used like a decoy while America's enemies lined up their perfect puppet. Michael. Soren, polished, young, smiling, empty, and worse, backed by a cabal of global manipulators who think they can engineer a future without the people's consent. Jason Miller bursts into the room, breathless. "Sir, the feed's live. They're waiting." Trump nods, steps toward the stage. He's not addressing the press tonight. No filters, no spin. Just him and the American people. Back in D.C., Elena Strauss races through the Capitol's labyrinthine tunnels, clutching a flash drive that could change everything. It's the Motherlode, a data dump of communications between the Dominion League, foreign intelligence assets, and members of Soren's campaign. It's not just damning, it's treason, but time is slipping. Security's tightening. Her access is being revoked in real time. Someone on the inside has flipped the switch. They know she's coming. She dives into a side room, heart pounding. Her hands tremble as she uploads the files to a secure leak channel. Every second ticks louder than the last. If she fails, the next election will be a sham. If she succeeds, she might never see daylight again. And then, boom, the feed goes. Live Trump appears on every major screen in the country. He's framed not as a politician, but as a man cornered, furious, and unchained. "I have been accused, attacked, betrayed, but not defeated," he begins, voice low, steady. He holds up a folder, thicker, bloodier than the first. "Tonight, I'm going to show you what they don't want you to see." He exposes Soren's real financiers, shell companies from adversarial nations, data analysts formerly with intelligence agencies now embedded in his campaign. Leaked footage of secret meetings in European villas, hushed conversations in Dubai hotels. The world stops. Soren's press secretary resigns mid-broadcast. Stock markets shudder. Journalists begin reciting the words "soft coup" and "foreign installation" with trembling lips. But then, the counterattack. The screen glitches. Static hisses. New video feed hijacks the signal. It's Nathan Cross, bruised, bleeding, clearly tortured. He's tied to a chair, eyes wild. "Don't trust him," he rasps. Trump's file was manipulated too. This isn't a battle for freedom. It's two factions of the same disease. The feed cuts out. Panic explodes. Inside Mar-a-Lago, Trump's inner circle erupts into shouting. "It's a fake," Monica Hales yells. "Deep fake tech, obviously." But the seed of doubt is planted, and across the city, Elena watches in horror. Nathan wasn't supposed to be there. He'd gone dark. He was compromised. But why risk exposing himself now unless there was a third side? A deeper truth no one's ready to confront? Back in Eagle's Spine, Trump stares at the monitor, fists clenched. "They think that'll stop me?" he growls. "I'll bury them all before I kneel." Outside, protesters swarm. Military presence doubles. Black SUVs speed toward both Trump's compound and Elena's last known location. The entire nation holds its breath. Because this isn't just a political climax. It's the final moment before the break, and no one, not Trump, not Soren, not even the puppet masters knows what's coming next. Morning breaks over a battered, uncertain America. The air is heavy, thick with the weight of revelations that shattered everything the public thought they understood. The country isn't at war in the traditional sense, but something far more dangerous is unfolding. A war of trust, truth, and total control. Trump's bombshell broadcast sent shockwaves across every platform, news cycle, and political alliance. Half the nation sees him as a whistleblower, the last line of defense against an invisible global coup. The other half believes he's a desperate man throwing gasoline on democracy to save himself from drowning. Michael Soren? Silent. Vanished. From the public eye. His team denies everything, but whistleblowers begin to surface. Shaky voices with shaky footage, confirming secret meetings and off-the-books payments. And yet, every confirmation only raises more questions. Because if Soren was the pawn, who was the real player? Back at an undisclosed CIA safe house, Elena Strauss finally gets a moment to breathe. She's bruised, emotionally wrecked, but still standing. She watches her own face flash across news networks, labeled a rogue agent by some, a hero by others. She's already received warnings, disappear or be disappeared. But she doesn't run. She makes a choice. Instead of fleeing, she contacts a group of underground journalists, the kind who still believe truth matters more than clicks. She hands them everything, the full Dominion data package, recordings of Nathan's cryptic warnings, and a timeline of betrayals that tie everything from foreign espionage to domestic political manipulation. They go live within hours. The story spreads like wildfire. And just like that, the world realizes this wasn't just about Trump or Biden. This wasn't about red or blue. It was about control, global, systemic, quietly perfected over decades. As the media burns and institutions scramble to salvage legitimacy, Trump returns to the spotlight, battered but unbroken. For once, his tone shifts. Less bombast, more clarity, a rare glimpse of vulnerability. They used all of us, he says. Every one of us. You don't have to like me. You don't have to forgive me. But for the sake of what's left of this country, look deeper. Don't let them reset the system without you knowing what they're building in its place. He doesn't say who they are. He doesn't have to. In the final moments of her on-camera interview, Elena is asked a simple question. What now? She hesitates. Then, with the calm of someone who's seen the darkness up close, she answers, now, we stop believing in saviors. We start becoming our own watchdogs, and we stay loud, no matter what it costs. But just as the feed cuts out, a new message pings her encrypted phone. No number, no signature, just a single line. The Dominion. League has many names. You've only seen one face. She stares at it for a long time. Then, slowly, deliberately, she deletes it. Not because she's giving up, but because she finally understands what they fear most. Not exposure, persistence. The camera pans to a silent Capitol skyline. Sirens still echo in the distance. American flags flap nervously in the breeze. And somewhere, in a dark room not listed on any map, men and women gather around a table, already discussing the next phase. Because in the end, this wasn't the end, it was the opening move in a much bigger game. They tried to bury the truth, but the roots are already growing back. Fade to black.